Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Power Hour. I'm your boy, Detroit Lenny, here with another edition of some Power Hour football action. We are going to cover App State, Coastal Carolina, Western Michigan, Bowling Green, Alabama, LSU, Duke, Boston College, Arizona, Utah, and we're going to hit some NFL. Eagles Thursday night against Texans, Buffalo against the Jets, and Indy, New England. All good matchups. We filmed this on Tuesday, November 1st. There's trade deadline. There's all kinds of stuff happening right now. Before we get too much into football, though, I got to remind everybody about No House Advantage. NoHouseAdvantage.com. That's where you got to go. If you're into fantasy betting and everything like that, they're changing the game, offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. To sign up, you just download the app on any of your platforms, any of the app platform stores. Download it, use the promo code PNP, and you will get a deposit match up to $50. All you got to do, NoHouseAdvantage.com. It's real easy, real simple. Get into that. All right, guys, first up on the slate, we are going to talk with Craig Trapp as soon as I get the dang graphic to work right. There we are. There you are, big fella. How we doing?
I mean, it's November 1st. When the calendar turns, this is my favorite week of the year just for betting because I love horse racing. Breeders' Cup is this week. We also, upcoming week, we've got college basketball. And then, of course, all the sports colliding at once. You got the World Series. You both have NBA, NHL, college football, college NFL. And then, like I said, we're going to be adding in college basketball. But Breeders' Cup action Friday and Saturday. So make sure everybody stays tuned
I can't wait.
to that. I'm super excited.
I love it.
I'm actually going to be in Cincinnati, and it's at Keeneland, so it's only like an hour and a half away. And I have my daughter this weekend. I was like, could I convince you to maybe go watch some horse racing?
I'm not going to be too far from you this weekend, so I'm just saying. App State Thursday night college football. App State -3, Coastal Carolina. Over under 64. Before we go too far into this matchup, though, I got to tell you guys what the promo for Power Hour is this week. If you text your full name to 775-403-5400, you will get free VIP text plays for one whole week. All you got to do is text your name to that number below. It's free. It's free. Fade or follow at your own risk. They're free. I don't know what to tell you. Talk to me about App State, Coastal Carolina.
Wow, these are two really, really good teams. I mean, if you like good football, you're going to want to watch this. Now, unfortunately, I wish they would have found a way to make this game on Wednesday, not against the NFL game on Thursday. Although the way the NFL games have been on Thursday, maybe you want to watch this.
This is going to be a gem.
Yeah. 5-3 App State against 7-1 Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina survived last week. They scored 21 points early in that game at Marshall in the first quarter and scored 3 rest of the game. Still found a way with their defense to win 24-13. And that was after that ugly loss at home against Old Dominion. So maybe they were looking ahead because this is, they had the two big ones, Marshall and App State. And, App State, I mean, they have been, other than that loss, they had one ugly loss to Texas State, 36-24. That was 3 weeks back. Since then, I mean, they lost the opening game to North Carolina by 2, one of the more exciting games you'll ever see. Mm-hmm. But they followed it up with, winning at Texas A&M. So, I mean, this team has played a very good schedule. They're the deserving favorite here. And to me, I don't know how Coastal Carolina is going to slow them down, but I think Coastal Carolina is like, hey, we're going to run the ball. I love that where they kind of run like a spread triple option, Coastal Carolina does. So I think they'll be able to run the ball against App State. And I think they're going to not run their up-tempo. I think they're like, hey, we got to keep this ball away from App State. And I think this game you play the under, Lindy. I know 64 seems high, but it really isn't when you look at what App State's been putting up in some of their outings, and even Coastal Carolina at times. I like the under here because I just think Coastal Carolina, if App State gets 35 points, Coastal Carolina's going to lose. So I know at home, I think they know they got to slow this ball down. Not really the way they like to play, but it's just, sometimes the team's just better than you on offense, and I think that's the case.
Yeah, I agree. I think both teams can run the ball. I think both defenses will let them run the ball kind of thing, but I think they're going to slow the game down, work the clock, go under here 64. I think it's close, but I don't think either team gets to 30.
This might be one of those games where you want to play over the first half and under the second half because a lot of times, we've seen, where they make the big adjustments. In fact, that last game, Coastal Carolina, at half, like I said, scored 21 points. And Marshall's like, you're not scoring any more rest of the game. So I wouldn't, if you do like the over, I would take it the first half instead of the full game. I like the under for the full game, though, for sure.
I like it. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hour is brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern every day. Let's move into some NFL Sunday action. Colts at the Patriots. A lot of moves in the NFL trade deadline today and all that, but none by either team that I'm aware of right now. Patriots -5.5. It's a double spread. Over under 39.5. Guys, I got to remind you, free VIP text plays for 1 week. If you text your full name, 775-403-5400. It's free. For free. All you got to do is text your name. Get after this. Talk to me about this matchup.
Well, the line opened at 6, and I liked the Patriots because it wasn't on that Devils number. And for the people that don't know, you don't end on 5.5 very often, but like I don't know the exact number, I forget, but it's like 17-4 or something like the last 21 times. The last 18, I think it's going back about 2 years. That when it's 5.5, the underdog wins almost always and outright many of those times. It's like it's a weird number because usually, those numbers end up being about 50-50 if you go back far enough. But recently, that 5.5 has been great for underdogs. I can't do it. I cannot take the Colts. They fired the offensive coordinator Brady this week. They switched quarterbacks last week. It's like, grasping at straws. It's like the one thing that the Patriots do is they get better as the season progresses, almost always. Bill Belichick figures it out. Hey, what's working, what's not? Let's improve during the season, during the games, during the quarters. It's like the Colts haven't been able to figure anything out. They've made all these changes and nothing has worked. Jonathan Taylor, best running back in the league last year, has been non-existent this year. If you drafted him in fantasy football, Lenny's team's terrible in fantasy football. He probably drafted Jonathan Taylor, let's be honest. But he's just not been good. I
didn't get an opportunity to, but if I would have. You would have, yeah. And I would have still sucked. You're right.
Yeah. I don't understand it because he was injured. Now they say he's healthy, but the offensive line has been terrible. So it's not just on him. When any good running back, you need a decent offensive line to good offensive line. They have not been either of those. Matt Ryan wasn't the answer. He turned the ball over a million times. Now Sam Ellinger's there, and he wasn't great last week in a loss last week. To me, I'm taking the Patriots. I just think Bill Belichick against a young quarterback. It's almost always he confuses them. Give me the Patriots here. I think they just smash. The Patriots run game is very similar to Tennessee. Let's remember what Tennessee, they just ran it straight down the throat of the Colts. So give me the Patriots -5.5. I know it's a devil's number, so you can go ahead and put comments in the section. I get it, but
I get it. Yeah, comment all you want. And I'm usually 99% of the time I would be on the Colts here, but the Colts they're in disarray. They're not good. They can't run the ball, which was a staple for them last year. And the Patriots defense is pretty good, I think. I know they had a bad game against Chicago and all that. I have a whole conspiracy theory about that game, but they came right back. He didn't want to get that win against George Halas's Bears. That was my theory on that. So Belichick tanked specifically for that.
Well, they've been a good Jets team last week. The Jets were rolling until they faced the Patriots last week. Now, what was it? Turnovers. The key to almost always winning in the NFL is win the turnover battle, and they won it last week. You think Ellinger's not bad? Ellinger's no better than Zach Wilson and has way less experience.
Don't talk about Zach Wilson like that, okay? He's a nice individual, and his mom thinks so too, and so do all her friends.
Hey, I like Cougars too, so hey.
I'm just saying, right?
I'm just saying.
All right. On that note,
get me out of here before I get in trouble.
Yeah, you're done, sir. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hour is brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, for real, like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. Never miss an hour of Power Hour. All right, Greg Trapp, I appreciate you stopping by. As always, we'll see you on the next one, sir.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Don't get me canceled. Goodbye. All right, guys. We still got on deck. We still got Western Michigan, Bowling Green. I'm really excited about this game, and I just want action. I'm that guy. We still got Alabama LSU, which I think is going to be a really good game too. Eagles, Texans. Ross Benjamin's going to stop by right now and talk to us a little bit about that. Let's bring him in right now. Ross, my man, how you doing, my friend?
It's all good, Lenny. It's all good, man. Coming
Absolutely.
off 7-3 the last 2 weeks in college football. I'm at 29-21 in the NFL for the season. 58%. We'll take that, right?
Hell yeah. We'll take it all the way to the bank.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to this Wednesday, Maction. Tuesday, Wednesday, we got Maction action. Love that. I love this. I just love the Mac. I love the way they play football. It's full gas, no brakes, defense kind of optional sometimes.
Yeah.
Western Michigan, one of my favorite teams. I'm from Michigan, so I love all the Eastern, Western, Central, you name it, I'm on it. Western Michigan at Bowling Green. Bowling Green is -4.5. Over under is 47.5. Break this game down for us. What are we doing here?
Well, this is a Western Michigan team coming off a 16-10 win at Miami of Ohio last week, and they did so as a 7-point underdog in that game. However, they're just 2-5 versus FBS opponents this year. As a matter of fact, over their last 5 games, the Western Michigan Broncos offense has really been anemic. During that span, 14.4 points per game, a little over 340 yards per game. You don't win a lot in the MAC when you put up those types of offensive numbers, as Lenny just alluded to. Bowling Green, on the other hand, coming off a 34-18 win at Central Michigan, even the record at 4-4. I think they're a better team than their 4-4 record indicates, as well as 2 of those losses came on the road at number 10 UCLA and at Mississippi State, a team up until last week, which was in the top 25 for the majority of the season. And I got a college football betting angle on this contest from my 4D handicapping software. Folks, if you are not familiar with 4D handicapping software, ESPN did a nice article on this back in 2003. You can find it by just Googling that. But in any event, any college football conference home favorite of 3.5 to 16.5, like Bowling Green is, and they're coming off a conference win by 10 or more points, which the Falcons are, and they're playing a opponent like Western Michigan, coming off a conference win in which they were an underdog of 6 or greater, 42-7 against the spread for those conference home favorites. That's good for 85.7%. That dates back to 1998, Lenny. I'm going to take Bowling Green here, minus the 4.5 against Western Michigan.
I'll tell you what, there's just gems right there, folks. If you need to get a pen and paper when Ross is on camera, because take notes. There will be a test later. It just dropped all kinds of info on you. And I'll tell you what, for everything he has said and more, Western Michigan's struggling. And if they can't keep up with this Bowling Green team, it's going to be all kinds of bad. I like the Falcons here. I think they're just
You're going against your home state, Lenny. You're going against.
I know. I'm more of a Central guy, to be honest with you. If I had to pick anybody, I'm a Central Michigan Chippewa, ride or die, just so you know. But Western here, Bowling Green's, they're better than their record. You hit the nail on the head with that one. They are better than their record. So I like that matchup. Guys, don't forget your Picks and Parlay Power Hour promo that's a whole lot of P's there. Picks and Parlay Power Hour promo is text your full name to this number below, 775-403-5400. Somebody will text you some VIP plays for 1 week. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell for notifications. We're here Monday through Friday, as always, at 3 p.m. Eastern. We got a big game here, still continuing in college. This is Saturday matchup. Alabama trying to stay in that college playoff against LSU. They're -13, over-unders 58. Talk to me about this matchup, Ross.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. Alabama laying 13. I know a lot of people think that this isn't one of Nick Saban's better teams, but I beg to differ. They just lost to a great team in Tennessee, and that was on the road, 52-49, in which Tennessee kicked I believe a 50-plus yard field goal with no time left on the clock to win that game. On the other hand, a direct comparison, Lenny, is LSU played Tennessee, and they played them at home, and Tennessee blew them out 40-14. So if you're into these common opponents and how they do against common opponents, this certainly favors Alabama in that regard. Brian Kelly has faced Nick Saban twice as a head coach. Both times he was with Notre Dame. Both times they got blown out, and they were overmatched physically and athletically. I'm not going to say that that's the case here, even though I will say I think those two Notre Dame teams were much better than this version of the LSU team this year. So keep that in mind. And also, I just think Alabama here is going to be able to move the ball at will offensively, and it'll be too much for LSU. I hate laying points on the road, Lenny, especially double-digit favorites, but
right.
I'm going to make an exception here and take Alabama minus 13 over LSU.
I every part of my body wants me to take LSU in this matchup, but I don't believe in Brian Kelly. Two, I do agree with you I think this Alabama's team is better than what people think they are. And I do think towards the end of the season here, they're going to make a push to get in top of that top four, ranked and everything. They're 6 right now. I think they're 6. I'm almost positive, but they're trying to get in there. I think this is when don't sleep on Alabama to make moves. And if one of these teams like Georgia or Tennessee, one of those teams are going to lose, and they're 1-2 this week. This is a perfect example for Alabama. Kick the snot out of LSU and trying to move up in the rankings. I hate to lay the 13, but I'm with you on this one. Guys, don't forget promo for Power Hour. Free VIP text plays for 1 week if you text your full name 775-403-5400. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell for notifications. As always, Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. NFL action. The Bills. These are your Bills. You're a Bill fan, right? Bills Mafia?
I was going to say Buffalo
Mafia
is to me what Detroit Lions are to you, buddy.
Well, hey, you're in a way better spot than where I am. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I like buffalo wings way more than I like Detroit style pizza. So, but I'll take both, just so you know. Buffalo Bills, almost a 2-touchdown favorite, pretty big favorite here over the Jets. Over under here is 47. Where are we going with this one? I don't know about this matchup here. I don't know if I trust. The Jets are sneaky.
Yeah, I think this is a danger spot for Buffalo, but I just can't pull the trigger and go against them. They've just been too good this year, and especially they're coming off a lackluster performance, in my opinion, this past Sunday night against Green Bay. They did win the game 27-17, but failed to cover. Here's the thing, Lenny. You got this Buffalo high-powered offense. They're number 1 in total offense at 430 yards a game. Number 2 in scoring at 29 points per game. Number 1 in passing offense at over 307 yards per game. And they've allowed the second fewest sacks in the NFL at 11. However, they're 6-1 under the total this year. And that includes 5-0 to the under in their last 5. In those last 5 games that I'm referring to, a combined average of 42.4 points per game. So the thing here is Buffalo's defense gets overlooked because of their high-powered offense. The Buffalo defense, number 4 in total yards, Lenny, at less than 300 yards per game. Number 1 in scoring defense at 14 points per game. And like you alluded to, the Jets, sneaky, and one of the major reasons why they're having success this year is not so much their offense, but their defense. And I think it's underrated and it's been overlooked. I mean, the New York Jets defense, number 11 in scoring defense, less than 20 points a game. Number 6 in total defense at just 311 yards per game. These are two pretty good defensive teams. And keep in mind, too, Green Bay ran the ball for over 200 yards against Buffalo last week. Might have exposed the weakness in the Buffalo run defense. And the Jets have been very good running the ball this year. And sometimes your best defense is a ball control offense. And look for the Jets to try to establish the run early. And if they have success, to continue that throughout and be run-oriented offense. So with that being said, I'm going to go under the total here, Lenny. I think Buffalo and the Jets will go under the total of 47 in this contest.
I'll tell you what, I agree. And I don't like to agree with all the handicappers all the time.
I know.
It doesn't make for good TV. I will voice my opinion if I disagree. I do like this. I think the Jets can run the ball, and I think you hit the nail on the head again. The Jets defense is, I think, underrated, and you don't hear about Buffalo's defense because all you hear about is their safeties are hurt or busted up in the secondary, but that they stop the run. They're pretty good at that. They can. At least I think the Jets are going to ground and pound, and the best way to beat Buffalo is to keep Josh Allen off the field.
Right.
If you can keep him off the field, you can compete in this game. I think 13's too many. So I like the Jets with that point, with the points, but I think Buffalo wins. They don't cover, and I think this game stays way under, to be honest with you. But
it's good to hear.
Oh, hey, yeah, I always like when I'm on the same page as Ross. So for sure,
and
free
vice versa.
VIP text plays for a week if you text your full name to 775-403-5400. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hours here Monday through Friday. 3 p.m. Eastern, as always.
And Lenny, by the way, I heard you and Craig talking with the 5.5 number in the NFL. 39 and 12 underdogs of 5 or 5.5 in the NFL since 2020. And it's after game 7 of the season that improves to 13 and 2 against the spread during that time frame. I just thought I'd add that.
New England scares the hell out of me, but that's a whole different show. All right, Ross, I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate you stopping by, buddy.
Well, thank you for having me, and take care, Lenny.
Take care, bud. All right, guys, we still got some more games coming up. I mean, we still got Duke at Boston College, Arizona at Utah, and we got the Thursday maybe the best Thursday, hopefully the best Thursday night game we haven't seen yet. Philadelphia Eagles at the Texans. You don't have to do much to be the best Thursday night game, by the way. Nick Parsons is on the slate. I'm going to bring him up. Nick, how we doing, my friend?
Not bad, Lenny. I'm back here. I'm in the new house, so you can see that I got a little bit of the insulation hanging out here. I'm half set up, but hey, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
That's what. Hey, we're making moves here. Okay, well, don't worry. I'm sure the man cave will be properly decorated within the next couple weeks.
Exactly.
Friday football. Duke, the powerhouse Duke football team at Boston College. Over-unders 47.5. Duke's favored by 9.5 here. Before you break this down, I want to remind everybody, free VIP text plays for a week. If you text your full name to 775-403-5400. That's all you got to do. It's free. I don't know why you people haven't done it yet. Duke at Boston College. Talk to me about this one.
Yeah, mildly interesting ACC matchup here on Friday night. I mean, not the most exciting, obviously.
Right.
But the reason why I find this one interesting is because Duke is now 5-2. It's on the cusp of eligibility. It's coming off that big 45-21 upset road win at Miami. And so that was huge, obviously. It has no shot at winning the ACC, because Clemson's 8-0, North Carolina's 7-1. So, yeah, it plays this game against 2-6 Boston College. It still has 3 games after this one to reach the 6-win plateau, including a really favorable game next week against 2-6 Virginia Tech. So I've heard Craig speak about this last week when he was doing a show, that we've reached the point of the season where we can look back at what teams have done and use that to sort of predict the future. And to me, this one sets up as a bit of a letdown and a look ahead spot for Duke, because it was 2 weeks since that big win.
Right.
So it's sort of a look. Yeah, sort of a letdown. It's also sort of a look ahead here with a game against Virginia Tech. And when you add those 2 things up, to me, that sort of equals trap game. Now, the Eagles, they've just been completely inconsistent. They're only 2-6. There's no chance they're going to win their next 4 games and go 6-6. But I still think they can make a game of this one. They're going to try to play the role of spoiler here, at least for one more game for Duke, and not let them get that 6th win. I just can't see Riley Leonard and them running up the score here. No, Boston College, it's coming off a bad effort. Lost 13-3 to Connecticut. It was a 7.5-point favorite. It wasn't completely the fault of quarterback Phil Jerkovich. He had 155 yards passing. He did have the 2 interceptions, but he also had 29 yards rushing on 14 carries. There was a bright spot, though, Lenny, in all of that. Boston College held UConn to 280 total yards of offense in that. And so I think I'm probably going pretty contrarian here. I think most of the money is on Duke, but I just think that the back door is going to be wide open here. And I think there's enough situational stuff working in favor. And so I'm going to say no outright, but grab the points.
I think this is a whole lot of points. And it scares me because I think it is a letdown spot for Duke, and I think Boston College could backdoor some cover action here. I really kind of dig more than anything here just the under, because I think if Duke gets up, they lay off. If Boston College hangs, it's because they kept Duke off the field, and then it's under. But I wouldn't talk anybody off taking the points in this game. It's not.
No, I like
favorite.
your angle as well, for sure.
So I mean, I kind of I'll be watching this football game on Friday night because I don't have a whole lot going on, but I won't like it. Let me just tell you, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hour is still here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, this game, I'm a little bit more intrigued with. Saturday matchup, Arizona at Utah. Utah minus 17 and a half. Over under 67 and a half. This is a whole lot of points for this Utah team. I don't know if they get behind all this. Tell me about this. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, as I was mentioning on the play on Boston College, we sort of reached the point of the season where we can make some good situational plays. And I think that this is a good situational play on Arizona. I think that this is too many points for Utah to cover. You can even get some 18s out there. Mm-hmm. I'm not calling for an outright upset or anything. But I do think that this could be a much tighter battle than what this spread is suggesting. Utah, it's 6-2. It held on for that 21-17 road win over Washington State last weekend. It was a 7-point favorite, so it didn't cover. It wasn't easy. So they're now eligible. They still have an outside shot at winning the Pac-12. Oregon 7-1. USC is 7-1. UCLA is 7-1. Washington is 6-2 as well. Utah is 2-1 straight up in its last 3, but it's 0-3 against the spread. And so for me, I think that this is once again going to be just a few too many points for it to cover here.
Right.
Arizona, it's only 3-5. It has 4 games left to try and win 3 games. After this game, it has another tough game at UCLA. But then that's followed by 2 really winnable home games to end the season. Washington State, Arizona State. So if it could possibly win one of these 2 next games, then it has a legitimate shot at moving to get those 6 wins. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's going to get the outright win here, but it does have the motivation at least here in trying to do that. Arizona, it was competitive in a loss to USC as a 14-point underdog last week, 45-37. And over its last 4 games, it's 3-1 against the spread. And so it has been competitive in defeat. I'm primarily a situational handicapper, Lenny. This is the type of year, these are the types of situations that I'm looking for, and I just think this is too many points, so I'm grabbing the points. I'm going with Arizona. I
agree wholeheartedly here in this matchup. I like Arizona plus 17.5 for those reasons alone. Look, Arizona's 3-5 straight up in record, but they're 5-3 against the spread. They stay in games. You give them, they're underestimating them when they set this line at 17.5. Utah probably wins by 14. They probably win by 2 touchdowns, but I don't think they win by 18. They probably win this game by double digits, but this is too many double digits in my opinion. So I like this Arizona plus 17.5 here. Guys, don't forget free VIP text plays for 1 week. All you got to do is text your full name, 775-403-5400. And you got to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. You'll never miss a Picks and Parlay Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to move into some NFL. Talk about Thursday matchup here. The Philadelphia Eagles, 13-point favorite over the Houston Texans. Over under is a dismal 44 points. Where are we going with this one? How do we get on the Houston Texans if we want to? I don't even know if we want to.
Well, I'm going to keep the underdog train alive here on the show for my picks. You pointed out at the very top of this show that we've had some terrible Thursday night games this year. And so I'm a little bit unsure what to think about this one. On the one hand, we have the Eagles. They've been phenomenal. They come in at 7-0 straight up. They're 5-2 against the spread. And then we have the Houston Texans, who no one predicted would do anything this year. And all of those people were totally right. They're just 1-5-1 straight up. They're 3-3-1 against the spread. So I guess the Texans, they have been competitive for bettors somewhat this year. And so I do think that'll be the case again this week. And I just think that this is sort of a spot, sort of what we were touching on in the last game, where Philadelphia can go up, they can get that lead, and it doesn't need to keep the foot on the gas in this one.
Right.
I mean, it can't afford to take the foot off the gas. Obviously, it's 7-0. It's coming off the 35-13 home win over Pittsburgh, but a small little mental letdown, I think, is not out of the realm of possibility here, especially because it has its bye week next week, and then that's followed by a game at home against Washington. Houston, though, last week it was a 1-point home underdog to Tennessee, and it lost 17-10. It was somewhat competitive in that. But I think Davis Mills, he'll have some opportunities in the second half. As I mentioned, I just don't think Philly will run up the score here. I just don't think there's going to be any point. Philly can run the ball in this one throughout, control the game. Houston has been just terrible against the run. It's 31st against the run. But yeah, regardless, I think Houston, I'm going to grab those points. I think this is too many. I'm grabbing the points and keeping the underdog theme alive here. There you go.
Stick with it. If you're on the train, be on the train. You know what I mean? We're not 1 foot in, 1 foot out here. We're taking the points in the Houston Texans. I to be honest with you, I don't know why Philly would even have. They might throw the ball 10 times. It's going to be run. Yeah. I love the under in this thing. I worry about Houston covering here these points. I don't know if Houston gets to 10 points, but I just think, look, Philly's moving to 8-0 and moving on. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm just going to roll with that under train on the primetime games, especially in a Thursday night matchup. Hey, thank God we got college football all week and World Series and stuff.
Maction is back.
Yes, Maction's back, all that good stuff. Guys, text your full name, 775-403-5400. You get a free week of VIP text plays. Also, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Nick Parsons, I appreciate you, my friend. That's going to do it for us. We're going to wrap on out of here. We'll see you guys next time on the Power Hour. Good luck unless you're a guest list. Take care.